Giada finally shares her story. A few years ago, the press was full of stories about Giada De Laurentiis' breakup with fashion designer Todd Thompson. People made up their own bad ideas about why this band broke up, but they had no idea what was going on behind closed doors. Giada handled the controversy with respect, grace, and a good amount of spaghetti and chocolate, her favorite comfort foods. Still, the star always kept smiling. But behind that beautiful smile are all kinds of secrets. Keep watching until the end to find out about Giada De Laurentiis' private life, the bumpy road that led her to where she is now, and how she feels about the latest rumors about her. A family of film stars. Giada's mother, the actress Veronica De Laurentiis, gave birth to her in Rome. Alex de Benedetti, who acted and made movies, was her father. Since both of her parents were successful in the foreign film business, it was thought that she would do the same. Even before that, people in the family had always worked in movies. Dino De Laurentiis was her grandpa. He was a director who helped bring Italian movies to a wider audience around the world. It made sense for Giada to be interested in acting when she was young. She wasn't, though. Teenage dreams. Giada De Laurentiis was not like most high school kids in that she didn't want to be famous. She wanted to be a cook instead. Her goal was not in any way to become a TV star. Her parents told her not to join the family business right away, but to think about what she wanted to do first. People told her, "You can't possibly know what you want to do, so why don't you buy yourself some time?" Giada listened to what her parents said and went to UCLA. In 1996, she earned a degree in social anthropology. But by the time she was done, she knew even less about what would happen next. Kids can be cruel. Giada's parents split in the 1970s, and she went to Southern California with her brother. It was a big change, and she and her brothers had to leave all their friends in Italy behind. Giada didn't know any English when she got to America, and the other kids picked up on this right away. They made fun of her name, Giada, by calling her Jabba the Hutt, which was a cruel play on her name. Giada found peace at DDL Food Show, the diner her grandpa owned. Her grandpa helped her stand up to the bullies who were always around. Social anthropology. Giada found her love of cooking at her grandfather's restaurant. She became very interested in food, but she wasn't sure if it was a hobby or a way to make a living. Because of this, her family told her to go to college first before making any choices. Giada did a great thing by paying her own way through college, but when she finished, she wasn't sure if social anthropology was right for her. Maybe it was time for her to try her hand at the family business. Meeting Todd Thompson. Giada may have made the wrong job choice when she chose to study social anthropology, but her choice to go to UCLA was still a big part of her life. Giada met her future husband, Todd Thompson, at this restaurant when she was only 19 years old. Todd would later become a TV star, but he didn't care about food or fame at the time. In fact, he learned almost everything he knows about cooking from Giada. She once said, "My husband was used to opening cans, whether they were filled with Chef Boyardee or frozen food. God bless his soul, he didn't know much about cooking." After living with Giada for 20 years, he learned a few things, but I'll talk about that later. Le Cordon Bleu. After thinking about what she could do, Giada chose to let her love of food guide her work. She tried to get into a very popular cooking school, and both of her parents thought she was on the right track. Giada was shocked when she was accepted at the famous Le Cordon Bleu cooking school. Once again, the recent college graduate got ready to stop what she was doing and move to Paris. She couldn't have known what was going to happen there. Stressful times. Giada moved to Paris, where she was excited to start classes at Le Cordon Bleu. But when school started, she started to wonder if she'd made the right choice. "I don't know what I was thinking," she said. "All the time, what was I thinking? I'm not that guy." Giada was under a lot of worry, and that made her lose 10 pounds. She was back in a country where she didn't speak the language, and she missed home. Her deep love of cooking was the only thing that kept her going. Gaining a reputation. Giada had finished her classes in cooking by the time she was ready to move back to Los Angeles. She was ready to show herself and her doubters that going to Paris was the right choice. Giada got jobs in a couple of places and started to get a name for being a good worker. In the end, Wolfgang Puck, a well-known chef from all over the world, hired her as a chef at Spago. Here's where Giada really showed how good a cook she was. Giada still had her own doubts about whether or not she was on the right track. Spotted by Food Network. Giada wanted to try something new, so she switched from being a cook to being a food artist for food magazines. In the end, she got a job at Food and Wine magazine. She was happy here, but her job wasn't at all set. In 2002, a Food Network official saw Giada and told her she had to film a lesson for the network. The demo was good, so the network quickly made a show called Everyday Italian, and Giada was in it. Giada talked about her worry at the time. "I think I just wasn't open enough. I wasn't safe enough." Proving them wrong. As soon as the show started, people started leaving notes. Some people said that the network should have hired a real cook instead of a model or actor. This was her chance to show them they were wrong. As the show went on, Giada became known as one of the best cooks in the world. Everyday Italian was a big hit for the network, and in 2005, a ghostwriter helped her put out a recipe. The book was a big hit and went straight to the top of the list of bestsellers. Everything is wonderful. Giada was an instant hit, and things were also going well in her personal life. By this time, she and Todd had been together for almost 10 years. It was time for them to get married. When Todd finally asked Giada to marry him, she said yes, and they got married in 2003. During their time together, Giada said she showed him how much she cared for him by cooking for him. She often cooked him food at home as a way to tell him, "I love you." Too much attention. Most popular people will learn at some point that it's not all fun and games to be famous. There's something bad about becoming famous. So both Todd and Giada wanted to keep their relationship out of the public eye, but they weren't very good at it. Fans who thought they knew Giada bothered her. They would rush up to her and gush, which might be fine for some people, but Giada doesn't like being the center of attention. She said once, "I wish I could say no touchy-feely." Still, Giada puts on a friendly smile, but behind that smile is a secret. Giada and Jade. Todd and Giada were married for 5 years before they had their only child, a girl they named Jade. The name Giada means jade in Italian, which is where the idea came from. Giada loves spending time with her daughter and is happy that she has only one child. Being a mom's hard, and now that she has Jade, she has plans to work and travel carefully so she can spend time with her. She would always be thankful to Todd for giving her a beautiful daughter, even if they had problems in the future. Decision to separate. 6 years after Jade was born, the couple agreed that it would be better for them to split up. They didn't tell anyone about their plan to split up until 2014, when they posted about it on Facebook. Giada said that the divorce would be friendly and that she would focus on making sure her family was happy. She said that their choice was made because the overwhelming desire for their family's happiness has given them the strength to move forward on separate yet always connected paths. Never say never. When word got out that the couple was splitting up, reports started to spread that Giada had an affair. Giada flatly and strongly said that these lies were not true. Shane Farley, one of her managers at the time, was also going through a breakup. They were able to help each other, and their friendship grew into something more quickly. Giada found it hard to be apart from her boyfriend, but she didn't give up on love. She told people that she was open to love and kept saying, "I'm never going to say never." Did Giada marry Matt Lauer? In 2011, there were also rumors that Giada was seeing Matt Lauer, who used to host Today. People saw them together in Barbados, and many thought that meant they were more than friends. Giada said none of these reports were true. Even though she and Lauer were friends, she told her fans that they were just hanging out and that they didn't have anything to hide. Lauer also shot down those reports. Giada's explanation. Todd has been extremely quiet about the couple's breakup, but Giada has said that part of the reason they broke up was because she couldn't give him the same amount of time she used to. In 2011, she told Redbook, "I think it can be hard for any man when his wife steals the show. So when I'm at home, I work very hard to be Todd's wife and Jade's mother. I try to be Giada, the young girl he fell in love with 20 years ago. All men want to be treated like kings in a relationship, and I think if women don't do that sometimes, their men are likely to leave and find someone who can give them that."